What if the entire time you spent playing Minecraft was experienced inside of one single block? Welcome to Compact Claustrophobia. Alright everyone, welcome to the box. There's not much here for us, just you know, a couple walls, that's it. What even can we do? Well, there's actually a ton to do. Here's a list of all the quests. On top of that, we'll be able to craft and place these tiny machines, allowing you to shrink ourselves further and further down, which, inside of these tiny machines, we can now make a bunch of other machines to automate the loads and loads of menial tasks we're gonna be getting up to. How the heck do we start from nothing though? Well, if we take a look here in the quest book, hit the walls to let out your frustrations, and perhaps get out some of the things that's been hiding in the cracks. So if we just take a little smack here at the walls, it's just that easy, until you run out of health. With this dust though, we now have ourselves 4 dirt blocks. You know what's really cool about these 4 dirt blocks? We can now start clicking these instead to get even more junk into our inventory without losing any health. A fun little thing you can do is hold shift and it'll make your crops go really fast. I think the intent is that you're farting on them and it's making them grow faster, which is kind of nasty if I'm gonna be honest. Oh, well, speaking of farting, this also occasionally happens while you're shifting. This poop is actually very important. We're not gonna throw this stuff away. For example, everyone turn away for me, please. This is the best early game food source. I'm pretty sure the best food source that we're just gonna have, and we get it by shifting. Anyways, while I'm here smacking the wall again with my newfound hunger, a like and subscribe would be very appreciated. Thank you. And with that, we now have 8 freshly harvested cuttings, perfect for 1 wooden pickaxe. Oh, and this pickaxe is the start of something big. Unrestricted mining, ladies and gentlemen, unrestricted mining. And just like that, without losing any more hunger, we now have ourselves a stone pickaxe. Okay guys, we need water. How the heck can we get our hands on water right now? No, well, look at that, looks like it's right here. Okay, now all we gotta do is just slowly fill this with plant matter and it should give us water. So I forgot to start the recording. Let's just pretend that I had just picked up the water with the bucket. All this really does for us right now is let us grow our crops faster, but to be honest, I'd rather have it than not. Have you guys ever heard of a strongbox? Check this out. Boom! The chest is now worse than it was before! Let's go! The plus side being though, we can upgrade them, and now they're worth it. Alright, now let's see if we can knock off a couple more achievements. Check it out, we've got these guys doing the mining for me now. This first step towards automation. I mean, technically it is automation, but this is our first step towards the future. All right, everyone, it's time. It's finally time. You see this right here? This, ladies and gentlemen, is infinite space. We've just got to do a little bit of remodeling before we can get there. And when I say a little, I actually mean a little. That was like 8 blocks. Anyways, gamers, this right here is the small compactor. It's a multi-block structure, so we're going to need a lot of space for it. But this is what we need to move forward. And there we go. We just have to drop some modularium in right here. And then after a little bit of time, we now have 4 compact machine walls. Gamers, we're but like 4 minutes into this video and we have already doubled the amount of space we have at our disposal. You know what, this is a good time to check what day. We're on day 4! Holy cow, we've got so much work to do. And to start, I've kind of got ahead and set our main room back up again so that we can get back to work mass producing tiny machines. Hello, welcome back. It's been a little bit. We now have a ton more space than we had before. Starting off, of course, we have our small compact room that we need for making the machine walls. This was our starting room. Here we have our dedicated mining room, mining at 50% faster speed than our previous mining setup and taking up significantly less space. Here is our dedicated farming room. Wood is no longer an issue. We can get this stuff so quickly. And here is our new fancy smelting room, significantly faster than before, and now green, no longer requiring wood to run, now using uranium decay. Alright, now is a good time to go back and start working on achievements again, but we're going to hold off on the first page for a while because we're going to be able to burn through these easier later once we have more stuff set up, so we're going to work on page 2 for now. And that starts with building a sawmill setup. Guess what? We have a sawmill set up now, and look at this, look at this. Each 1 stick gives 2 wood planks. Previously, it took 4 sticks to get 4 wood planks, which means it was 1 to 1. We now have 1 to 2. We have doubled our wood output. Hello, welcome back. I forgot to record for a little bit. We now have ingredients for TNT. You'll see why we need it for a second, but you see this sulfur right here? This sulfur was an absolute pain. Okay, so actually I'm cutting out this little rant I went on here. Maybe I'm stupid. I think I'm stupid. I just did the math and it took me 108 seconds per sulfur, of which I needed 2. It really didn't take that long. I don't know why it felt like it did. Anyways though, we now have our TNT, and if you check this out, blowing up blocks of iron next to a TNT yields gunpowder. And when you hear me say gunpowder, it's because I'm not thinking, except for early when I said gunpowder. Now it means steel. Okay, so I'm fairly certain that now that we have access to steel, we can make lava. So let's go ahead and try and figure that out. Burn that, squeeze that, and then realize we're stupid because we actually have to be able to jump to squeeze it. Oh Christ, we need a bigger room. Okay, never mind, trying to speedrun a bigger room instead. We need an engineer's blueprint. And I would love to use the metal plate recipe right there, but I'm pretty sure we need the press that we get from the blueprint in order to make that, so we can't use that one. Let's just do the copper aluminum iron recipe because I frankly don't want to have to get gunpowder again. I just want to move on from that. Unfortunately though, I think the decision to go for aluminum actually might have been a little bit of a blunder because I'm gonna have to sit here and sieve for aluminum anyways. Thank Christ we're done. That took like what, a full hour? Oh my god, I hate sieving. But now we can go ahead and craft the... Oh my god, I'm a fool. I'm a fool. I made the wrong one. I forgot that they all have their own individual recipes. I literally just made plates in order to do this recipe. Of course I can do the one that needs a plate to do it. Oh my god. This is actually so upsetting. Congratulations, we're done. We got it. Yay. Immediately following this was a very quick 30 minutes of work, during which we established the poop pipeline. We are now basically set for food and poop for the rest of the series, as far as I'm aware. It's so easy now. But anyways, quest complete, metal press. Jesus Christ. There we go, metal press. The best part about this machine is there's not really a ton that we can do with it at the moment. We can make a couple of these though, so I'm gonna go ahead and do it. We can't use them now, but they're going to be integral later. I forgot to mention something though. The metal press actually does have a really useful function for us right now. If we take 4 of these tiny machines, crush them down, and then craft them back together with themselves, we get one small, not tiny, small compact machine. Welcome to day 20, ladies and gentlemen. We are 1/5 of the way there. And remember when I said just a couple minutes back that we need a bigger room to jump? We can jump now. Welcome to lava. Then, lava and redstone makes netherrack. Lava and water makes obsidian. Obsidian gives us hardened glass. And all of those together gives us a magma crucible. And if anyone's curious what this does, this is steel-free lava production. Also, now that we've taken care of lava, things like stone and cobblestone they're no longer concerned. We have all we could ever want or ever need. Anyways, we are absolutely starved for uranium because we need uranium to make modularum, which we need modularum to make all the machines and bigger machines. We need a lot of uranium right now, and we have a lot of room to start making a lot of uranium with. We are snowballing a little bit right now. Now that our mining production has like quadrupled or something like that, it's significantly faster. We can take all this uranium, all this new iron we have, and immediately go and make another 5x5. The plan here is to use those tunnels that we made earlier to link together our 2 5x5s to hopefully come up with a design that will just handle almost every aspect of mining for us. Okay, so unfortunately, it looks like the piping cannot keep up with what we have set up for mining. So I think I need to just go ahead and completely redo all of the mining stuff. I'll be back again. There we go. We did it. We're done. This was so easy and we had no problems put together. No problems. No problems. Frankly, I think it would be insane to believe that there is any difficulty in the production of any of this, actually. Nope, this was stupid. This ain't gonna do it. And the filters aren't working. Why? Why is nothing happening? Oh no, these are getting backed up. Why did these just stop mining? Why is it not doing anything? Yep, still not crafting anything. Why? Why aren't we crafting? Oh, wait. Wait, I think everything should be fixed now. Everything should be good. Holy Christ, bless, we're done. And in the meantime, while I was working on that, I also kind of on the side put together a new furnace room with a bigger machine. It works a lot better and it looks a lot cooler. It is time for a much overdue upgrade. These small machines are completely free now. I think it's about time we upgrade our main room. We now have storage galore. Next order of business, we need to upgrade the wood production. We are at the point where we can completely automate this now. That means we finally get to make more use out of this stupid blueprint we made. It's not nearly as stupid anymore. It lets us do this. Thanks to our good 3 friends, the Closius here, and a ton of steel to make the generators with. I'm kind of getting scared we're going to run out of steel before we can automate it. We now have cuttings taken care of. And just a short while later, so are planks. Wood should now be completely taken care of for the foreseeable future. With that done, and this is not really necessary, I want to automate sieving and pulverizing because I hate doing that manually and we have the technology to do it automatically. The setup is really nothing fancy. We just hook up a bunch of pulverizers in sequence and then hope that we have enough power to actually power all 3 of these, which I don't think we do. What an incredible addition we now have to the system here. The addition is me, who continues to do all this stuff manually. Anyways, though, we now have ourselves another TNT. It's about time we get ourselves some more steel. We unfortunately blew through all the steel that we had before. This is gonna be enough for us to start making steel on our own. I can feel it. Oh, heck yeah, I got on the extra one. The TNT didn't move into the way. I meant to open the machine up so I could watch it blow up, not actually enter the machine. Oh, whoops. Anyways, with the steel steeled and a couple crafts later, we have the ingredients for a crusher. Crusher acquired. But why, you may be asking, do we need a crusher? Well, if we go ahead and do all this nonsense again 4 times more than we had before, we can go ahead and chuck them all in the crusher, flatten them down, same as we did the small machines, craft them together, and get one normal-sized small machine. Day check. 42. Almost halfway. Almost halfway. Okay, now that we have the normal size machine, if I remember correctly, we can actually grow a tree in this room. And we can! Perfect. That marks step 2 to automated steel done. Step 3 is building a coke oven. The coke oven being an important tool we need to make the fuel that we use to make steel. Step 4 is building the blast furnace. But before we get there, during the process of getting here, we found this tool that does this. That's pretty cool. And then we spent an absolute ton of time doing this. That wasn't pretty cool. Okay, now I'm gonna throw up the blast furnace real quick. And there we go, steel generation is pretty much settled. Inputs on the left, outputs on the right, and suddenly we have over 500 steel. So we're pretty much ready right now to go ahead and start making the large compact machine, but we do need a couple pieces beforehand so we can actually get there. We need these normal machine pieces, and in order to get normal machine pieces, we need to be able to put compact fluid. So we gotta go down this whole pipeline pretty much, and eventually we end up here. And there we have it, that wasn't too bad. Now we can take the compact fluid bucket, put it in the ingot former, and then, after a very long time of waiting and a very lot longer time of gathering resources, we could finish putting together the next larger compact machine. And if you want, here's a little sneak peek into earlier. This is when we got our first bucket of compact fluid. Look at that, we got our first bucket of compact fluid. Wait, can I put this on the ground? Ew, that's a whole machine! That's a whole one of what we're standing in right now! Also something I found out during this, if you shift click out of a crafting station next to a nullifier, yeah, so that crashes your game. Anyways, though, I'm sure you've already seen this whole process, so you're going to see it 100 times more. This is the little hell I go through every single time we want to make the next larger machine. This genuinely takes hours, until eventually we get our hands on a large compact machine. Day check, 54 days. Okay, we are over halfway. Hello, me from the future here, in creative, because I need to illustrate a point. You see, we went through all of that work because I wanted to get to diamonds, and I thought that because this machine was closer to this machine than diamonds are to this machine, that the next logical step was to go to this machine in order to make diamonds. You see, I was looking at the JEI, and I thought it said we need a high impact compactor to actually make diamond nuggets, and that looks like this. And I looked at this, I looked at that, and I went, wow, okay, that's probably going to go in the next biggest machine. This size. You know what I didn't consider? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. 11. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. We can't use this. And for the entire rest of this video, until we do eventually use this for something important, you'll see what we put in here. This is the only thing I used this room for hours and hours on end. It was a massive waste of time to put this together. Anyways though, time to now actually work our way to diamonds the correct way. It looks like we're supposed to blow them up same way we did steel, which means the two of us once again get to do this fun little dance that the mod pack likes to do with us. And step 1 is automating logs. Now the quest book gave us this little tutorial to put together the logs. It doesn't come with any images or anything, so I'm just gonna do my best. And my best I did. A little wiring later, and there we go, logs automated. So I noticed that you can put sawdust in an arc furnace to get charcoal, which I have an absolute ton of. Let's go on a little tangent and see if this might be a better way to get charcoal. Dude, that took like almost an hour to put together, and we can't even run the thing without these graphite electrodes in here. And you know what's really fun about graphite electrodes? You need hop graphite ingots to make them. The final stuff that we were supposed to blow up before we got to diamonds. This whole journey to get to the arc furnace just uses the ingredient that we needed to make the diamonds anyways. I am hoping to God that the durability on these lasts long enough to actually net positive charcoal. Now the new bottleneck is coke coal. This is the only coke oven we have, and it does not net positive. As soon as the coke is made, it goes in here and goes out into there. So I decided to multiply it by 24. If you want to see me build this, just imagine I did this 24 times. You may notice there's an obscene amount of small compact machines in here. In order to put that together, I made the compact machine wall room. I actually learned that if you make specific pickaxes, they will mine only a single material. So this machine right here mines only iron. This machine right here mines only uranium. They get crafted here into modularium. They get smelted down here in this furnace, which gets sent into this machine. I'm sure you are all well and familiar with this one. And then it pumps right here into the cache. Combat machine walls are now automated. Now all we need to do is pump in 24 stacks of charcoal into here, fill in all these machines to get the coal coke up to max capacity. Only problem is that charcoal production is abysmal. And this machine over here is dead slow. This thing has been running forever. I think it's time we make a fission reactor. Look at that, wow. I knew these guys would be good, but I wasn't expecting that good. Let's go ahead and hook this bad boy up to the fusion reactor, and then realize that it could probably use a lot more powerful cables. Okay, I'm not gonna lie, this thing has an insane power draw. I'm real curious what the max is, but at least now it's producing a lot faster with the better cables we just hooked up to it. Well, unfortunately, after all that, charcoal levels are still abysmally low. There goes the last of my sawdust. It has all been turned into charcoal. So we're gonna try and rectify that the best way we can. I turned my brain on a little bit, and we now have a significantly better niter production. If you remember, a necessary ingredient in the fertilizer we use. I also found this cheeky little recipe. It lets us turn dust into slag, which allows us to use rich Phytogro instead of regular Phytogro. I'm not gonna lie, I don't know the difference. I just think rich is probably gonna be better because it's harder to get. Really crossing my fingers here that the slag machine is not a waste. But now we just have a couple inputs and outputs that we need to feed this machine, and it absolutely pumps Phytogro. Into the tree farm it goes, and it's still disappointing. Regardless, we've been hunting this turret for a while, and even though we didn't do it all at once, we still got there in the end. Fellas, this is it. This is it. We are done with farming, except for building this machine. We can finally, after all this time, put together the storage system. And there we go, storage for 16,000 items. A weight has been lifted off of my shoulders. Oh my gosh, I have been waiting for this day. All right, let's go back to knocking off some achievements. This is the fusion core. I assume it makes power, nuclear fusion, same as the sun. We just made a lot of power. This is probably gonna make us a lot more. We don't want it for power, we want it for neutrons. Unfortunately though, this requires us to actually get deep into nuclear craft, which means we have an insanely disgusting recipe to work our way through with a whole lot of fluids. So before we go ahead and do all this, we need to set up fluid storage into our storage machine. Oh dear lord, I am not a fan of the way that displays. I need to split these disk drives up. There we go, now we have a fluid grid, we can access our fluids within the machine. Problem is though, it's not very useful because we can only move things around in the form of buckets, one bucket at a time. The fluids that we're gonna be working with are in less than a bucket. So it's time that we start hooking up all these other machines to flow straight in and out of this grid right here. There we go, it has begun. All of the main storages in those other machines that we've been stocking up are now connected directly to our main grid. We no longer really need to enter any of those other machines for the most part. Let's throw a little one of these down, and now we have oxygen flowing straight into the storage system. Okay, so I know that we just hooked everything up to our main grid so that we could craft with water and units of less than one bucket at a time, but honestly, we only have a couple days left until we're done, and so I don't really think we have time to set up this whole water crafting thing. So we're just gonna run through this entire disgustingly tedious recipe using full units of bucket. Time is not on our side, and I wanna get this done before the end of the day. Dude, one of my favorite hobbies is cutting down 2-hour-long clips into 30-second background footage in my videos. But anyways, with all that done, we can drop down this giant fusion core. We are about to have the power of the sun in the palm of our hands. Pretty sure that's a movie reference. I don't remember which one though. Okay, so we need to start feeding this thing power so that it can start heating itself up and then just start like running itself. This thing runs on like heat or something. I don't know how fusion reactors work. The problem is though, this thing seems to take an absolute ton of power to get started, and I don't have the power for this. Every time I check back, the heat's just counting up slower and slower. I feel like it's gonna take just an exponential amount of energy to finish this. So I think we need to start working our way towards a bigger reactor instead. And for that, we can finally start using the miniaturization field projector, which is what you're supposed to be using in this mod to actually make the tiny machines, but the mod pack has rewritten all the recipes to use all of its other funky things. We can actually start doing this the way you're supposed to. And it seems like we're gonna be needing ender pearls a lot moving forward in these recipes, and we need a lot of obsidian for every ender pearl. We do not have a good obsidian production line. Let's fix that. Alrighty, I think that's a quick enough lava production. So, in order to make the next size room, we need some glitched large machines. And in order to make glitched large machines, we need a pressure poop injector. We have a pressure poop injector, and that is all we had left, stopping us from going back through the entire cycle again from the bottom all the way to the top. Just after a little bit of time, we can dump these guys into the pressure poop injector and pressure poop inject them, and we now have enough to craft up the next size machine. This thing actually shrinks so slowly. I've been here forever, but that is in the past. We have... what size is giant? The giant compact machine. Look at this potential. Yeah, I'm not feeling so claustrophobic anymore. Now it's time for another day. Check. 110? We went over! Oh my god, we're done! Alright, well, that marks the end of this video. For now. Yeah, we're not done, and we're not even close to being done. We still have loads of achievements to finish. In fact, we didn't even finish off these pages yet. Loads more automation to do. We just barely opened this page and started connecting stuff up. Heck, we're supposed to go to space somehow in this pack. How? I don't know. In fact, actually come with me. This is the first time we've actually left the room. We're done with 100 days. We can leave now. In case you were wondering what's on the outside, there's nothing here for us. I assume we're supposed to be able to break this bedrock at some point. I have no clue how, but that's the only way I assume we're going to be able to get to space. This video might get a part 2. I've been streaming all of this on Twitch, and I plan to continue until I'm done playing. If there's enough footage, I'll make another video. And if you want to see that or whatever else my next video ends up being, please subscribe so it shows up in your feeds. Till then, we are done here. But before I leave, I do want to show these things. Here's a visual of every machine we currently have placed. And here's our total available block volume, starting at 27 cubic blocks in this little room right here. We are now at 7,288 cubic blocks. And with that, I'll see y'all later. Bye bye.